Alright guys, launched out of a new area, but man, it killed me. It absolutely just took everything I had. So finally got down here and I'll try fishing this area for a little bit, see what happens. Hopefully we get something. We'll see. Pretty much the rest of the lake is dead, seems like, so not a bad idea to give this spot a try, I guess. If I had my choice, I'd probably spend my time somewhere else, but I'm not in a boat, so we're gonna take what we got. Stay tuned, hopefully we catch something today. It's definitely like a little warm trend we got going on, so I'm hoping these fish get a little active. Hopefully I get a couple bass. We'll see what happens, guys. We got here, guys, and strained our back right away before we even got out on the float. So it might be a shorter day in general. I'm not sure. I've been out on the water for 30 minutes so far, and it's been a tough 30 minutes. So we will see. Alright guys, so that first 30 minutes was brutal. I'm still in some pain, but man, that first 30 minutes was just, kind of wanted to pack up and go home, but just got out here and it's going to take just as much effort. It's going to take a lot of effort to pack up and just go right back. So I'm going to try to, just take a few bit more Advil and get through it. So far, no bites. Water clarity is really good over here. Well, water clarity is really good all over the lake. Just haven't seen any life, haven't seen any fish, haven't seen any lizards, salamanders. Not really any flies or bugs flying around. Yeah, no bait fish swimming around. So, I don't know. Haven't seen any crawfish. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't even seen any birds. Like, not one bird today, which is really weird. Oh, where is everything? Alright guys, so no bites. Kind of taking it easy today. Trying to just hang out right here on the bank and slowly move around and just, don't really feel like fighting the wind. It's windier than it was supposed to be. I left the house and they said, oh, it's 2.3, 2.4 mile per hour winds right now. And expect up to 4 point something later on. Well, seems like right now it's 5, 6 with gusts of 7 and 8. At least that's what it feels like. So that's definitely another factor for me just wanting to kind of post up and fish some high percentage areas, see what happens, and then we'll see, because today's got, I see no overcast in the sky. I don't think I see a single cloud. I finally just saw a bird, just now. So it's just a very odd day. Usually I see a lot of birds, bald eagles, and all other sorts, but today I'm not sure where they're hanging out at. But it is a beautiful day. It's sunny, and for the time of year, I mean, this is nice. So you guys get a shot of that. Alright guys, so we've had a couple unproductive days, so I'm gonna switch up my bait a few times today, just to try to, other baits that I've done okay or well on at this lake before. Oh man, almost thought I got hooked up right away. I put a bait on right now I've never actually used, which is Yeah, it contradicts what I just said. No, for the most part, you know, baits that I've done well with on this lake or caught fish with on this lake, I have a bit more confidence in. But there's one bait I'm trying right now that I have lots of confidence in it for some reason. It's a bit tough to cast out because it's kind of small. But right now, I'm going to give it a shot because nothing else is working, so why not? This is the best time to give it a shot, in my opinion. When anything and everything is working, it'll probably work, but you know, it's finding those baits in the tougher days, on the tougher times of the year, you know, that will work. Those baits are more important to me than the baits that work throughout the year consistently. We'll see. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we just got snapped. You know, we're fishing in a lot of rock right now, and you know, I can feel the rock, but my bait is really light. It's about 116 pounds, around that range, you know, weight-wise, and but I can still maintain that contact with the bottom. I'm fishing really slow, and you know, I've got hung up a few times. Seems to be really easy to get this bait free. Really easy. I mean, I had like no problem, just barely with any effort, getting it out 3 out of 3 times that it got hung up. So that's pretty good. So maybe that's one advantage to fishing with baits this light. Most of the time, you know, when I'm fishing with a bait this light, it's going to be like a tube or a fly or something of that nature. But right now I've got something a little different tied on. But it's technically for salt water, so I'm not really sure. We'll see. I might be wasting my time, but you know, if you don't try new things, you'll never know. And can't tell you how many times I was glad I did try something new, something different. Oh, damn. Something's going on. Like I said, we're in a lot of rock. Whoa. Almost lost our baits. We're in quite a bit of rock, but something looked like it hit the tip of the rod. It could have just been the bait hitting the rock. Like I said, we're going against the wind. We're really barely moving. This bait is maintaining contact with the bottom, which is a good thing. That's what I want. If it wasn't, then it'd be pointless. Right now, it seems like the majority of the bass I have caught have been on the bottom. Some have been suspended. Alright guys, so we had this bait on so far a little bit over an hour. We fished for about 35-45 minutes with my first bait, and then I switched over to this, and we've been fishing for about an hour almost, just really slowly covering water, if you know, just barely creeping, and we've had no bites, no potential bites, no maybes. We've had nothing for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give this probably 10 more minutes, maybe 15 more minutes, and then we're gonna switch this bait out for a different bait. And all 3 baits are quite different, so they've, you know, got different actions, some subtle, some more aggressive. Stay tuned, and hopefully we can turn this around. Today's supposed to be like 66, 68, somewhere in between there, 66 to 68 degrees, you know, outside. Water temp right now. Water temp, the last time I checked, was like 42, 43 degrees. But that's not surface temp. I'm not sure about the surface temp. I dropped my thermometer down to about 15 feet, 12 to 15 feet. My thermostat or whatever, and it read about 43 degrees, so I'm not sure about the surface, the water surface of the water temp. Well, it is a nice day out here, that is for sure. It really is a nice day. Other than the pain, other than the frustration of not being bit the last 3 times I've been out, covering as much water as I have, using as many different baits, proven locations, everywhere else, just no luck. You know, I've focused on different depths, I've focused on different important features or areas that I know about, but it's just been tough sledding right now. It could be that we're in a transition right now. Alright guys, I'm pretty stoked. I was just about to untie this bait, or, you know, basically take it off, do whatever, and try something different. And bam! As I'm reeling this thing back in, I get bit. You know, so that, you know, took about an hour and 10 minutes, but I got a fish. And it's a nice fish. It's a nice lake trout. So it's a beautiful Mackinaw. I'm loving the colors on it. All I can think is let this thing go and let it get bigger, you know. All right, stay tuned. We're gonna unhook the fish and we're gonna let him go. Right now we got him in the net and he's submerged nice and deep in the net, so he's got plenty of water. And stay tuned. Hold on. Alright guys, here we go. Just trying to let this Mac, just took the hook out, and it seems like when you take the hook out, they just, for a moment there, they get a little bit stressed, and it takes them a moment to, you know, regain their full fighting spirit. Look at this beautiful fish. Look at it. Oh man. Look how long it laid. Oh boy, what a nice fish. Alright guys, that was great. Just getting the skunk off, getting that fish, and most importantly, trying out a bait that's meant for saltwater fishing,
thinking I was gonna catch a bass on it and catching a really nice Mackinaw. That Mac was well over 3, but a little under 4 pounds. That's a beautiful fish. Stay tuned, guys. I didn't get a picture with me with the fish just because it's kind of hard to hold those Macs. I'm not really sure yet if I should buy a specific glove to grab it from the mouth or just how I should handle those fish to get the picture with me and the fish. So for now, for the most part, I'm going to try to just, focus on the fish. Alright guys, so that's how it goes, I mean, you have a couple terrible days on the water, you put in a lot of hours, you cover a lot of water, nothing happens, you switch out bait after bait that has worked and been a proven bait, and then, you do something crazy and you throw on a saltwater bait for saltwater fish that weighs 1/16 ounce. 1/16 ounce bait, barely weighs anything, and you throw it out there and your expectations are kind of mixed, you feel like it's got a good shot at catching a bass, but you're not really sure. You give the bait an hour or so, you reel it in, you slowly reel it in, and something takes it. You think it's a bass, it ends up being a lake trout. I mean, lots of twists, lots of turns. That's the great thing about trying out new baits. Even baits that really don't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, if they make sense to you, if they look right, if they have the profile that you're looking for or something along those lines, and that bait just seems like it might work. I mean, it worked. It didn't catch me a bass like I thought. It caught me a lake trout. But right now the bass bite is absolutely brutal. So who's to say that if I give it enough time, it's not going to catch me a bass, maybe some more lake trout? Who really knows? I don't know. We'll find out in the future. But that's, like I said, one of the great things about trying new baits, doing things that are unconventional that a lot of other fishermen don't do. So it paid off.
And it's tough because I'm struggling today with a lot of pain. I struggle a lot with pain, but today specifically it's just been terrible from the very get-go. And that fish really made it, I'm not going to say all better, but it definitely, reminds me of why I do what I do, and why I fight through the pain sometimes. I wasn't really expecting to catch that fish where I caught it. I kind of find it odd, to say the least. Then again, what it took was very odd. Who knows anymore? That's why fishing is so great. You really never know what's on the end of that line sometimes until you see it or you actually catch it. And that's awesome, Sometimes even the experienced fishermen, they think they have a particular fish because 99.9% of the time, if they get bit with that bait, that's the kind of fish they catch. But sometimes it doesn't happen like that. I mean, I threw a Senko at Pardee, a 5 or 6 inch Senko, regular Senko. I think it was in, I want to say black with blue flake. And I caught a 6.5, maybe a 7-pound Mackinaw River catfish. That was a heck of a battle, and it was an experience I'll never forget because, a Senko, like, really? In like 35 feet of water? Like, up the Mackinaw, colder water, you'd think the catfish would be in the warmer water. So, a couple years later, I'm at Lake Pardee, and I'm drop shotting a 6-inch robo-worm in morning dawn with a chartreuse hot tip tail, and the next thing I know, I hook up into another 6 to 7 pound catfish. You know, just very odd, very much odd. But you know, you talk to enough bass fishermen, and over the years they throw certain baits, whether it's crankbaits or swim baits or whatever, like, you know, worms, jigs, just different things. And these catfish, if they're hungry enough, they will go for it. Yeah, there's quite a few people at the lake today, guys. I mean, it's a nice day. Like I said, warming trend kind of going on. Got the boaters out, you know. I haven't seen any kayakers or any other flow tubers for quite a while. Flow tubers for I don't know how long, since summer. No, I saw one in fall. But ultimately, you know, usually there's a lot of kayaks. There probably is a few kayaks out that I'm not seeing because I'm over here on this side of the lake, kind of continuously getting blown back into this cove, but working my way out. It's just that when I hooked up on that Lake Trout, you know, the fight, and, you know, just taking care of the fish and all the other aspects, filming and such, you know, ended up getting blown way back again, having to come all the way out. But right now, you know, I'm gonna do what I was talking about. I'm gonna kind of work that bait a little bit faster. See what happens, just because that's when I got bit, not when I was working it extremely slow. I mean, I think maintaining contact with the bottom is important, but at the same time, you know, how you're working it is also important, so they may want that faster retrieve. My ultimate goal, though, is to catch a bass with this bait. That would be great. You know, I'm reading these books. I'm reading a lot of books, going through, shoot, it seems like I read every book, and then I do so much digging and searching, I find one more book I can read on the subject of bass fishing. But if you guys know any that you don't think I've probably read, you know, let me know of a few.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all alike.